Hello. This is Crypto Investor. Well, I'm here to share with you a few things about Bitcoin. So please do bear with me. This is the first time I'm posting on the YouTube, so there is bound to be some mistakes, and then as time goes on, I will adjust on that. But then, the main purpose of this video is for sharing of information. Okay. So now, well, we'll be discussing three things basically: what Bitcoin is all about, how Bitcoin is created, and where Bitcoin is stored. Okay. So, but Bitcoin is basically a cryptocurrency, a virtual currency. The word crypto there means it is encrypted. It's a digital money. It's encrypted, and then the encryption there is to make sure that the transaction cannot be altered. Okay. It is a peer-to-peer money, in the sense that transactions can only be validated by the peers or members involved in the blockchain network of Bitcoin. Okay, so that being said, cryptocurrencies are really not different from the money you have in your bank account. It also bears some similarities to commodities like gold, diamonds, silver, etc. That is Bitcoin. So, in the sense that there are no central banks controlling or regulating it. Okay, the transactions there are basically from peer to peer. So having that in mind, Bitcoin, like gold and diamond, can be sent from user to user without any intermediary. I've said that before. And then there's no credit card company, there's no bank, there are no other intermediaries that acts as a middleman, simply put. So now, that being said, how is this Bitcoin that everyone is talking about created? How do we come about this Bitcoin? How is Bitcoin created? Well, unlike the fiat money that can be printed from time to time based on demands and all, Bitcoin can actually be created in the form of mining. What is mining? Well, in simple language, I'm not a programmer or something, so I will explain it as much in simple terms as I can. Okay. Now, Bitcoin, for example, is mined when users try to solve complex mathematical problems using high-end computer parts. So every time a solution to these mathematical problems is found, there is a reward for the user that solved this problem. Okay, so that is what we call mining generally. So whenever a particular set of high-end computer parts, they solve a complex arithmetical problem in the blockchain network, whatever. There is something that is called a block that is formed. So now, if they get it correctly, then they are rewarded in form of Bitcoin. So that being said, let's go over to what this where they are stored. Okay, so but before I go into that, I would like to shed more light on this mining, and then other stuffs and how they work. Another thing is that the difficulty of these problems varies as the network grows. That is, the more people make use of Bitcoin, the higher the difficulty of solving that mathematical problem. Okay, so now, so the solutions are found on a regular interval, say 10 minutes on average. That is the ability of or the tendency of a particular high-end set of computer parts to solve this difficulty. The tendency of that happening takes about 10 minutes roughly. So now, a good thing to note is these rewards for solving these complex mineable bitcoins have every 4 years, from 10.5 million bitcoins from the first day in the first year of world adoption of this bitcoin, then to subsequent 4 years after. So what this means is that in every 4 years, the difficulty rate of Bitcoin increases, and then the number of blocks of Bitcoin that can be mined reduces by half the amount of the previous 4 years. So let's say the first year was 10,500,000 Bitcoins. Then this fourth year, 4 years after the first year, you have 5,250,000 number of Bitcoins that can be mined. And this number continues to go down until the entire 21 million number of Bitcoins that can be mined must have been mined. So now, that being said, okay, which means technically that once we run out of Bitcoin, there is no more Bitcoin that can be mined. So Bitcoin becomes more expensive as it becomes scarce, just like gold is. And so this affects the price. So unlike other cryptocurrencies, unlike other fiat currencies that can make denominations like dollar, naira, pennies, and kobo, Bitcoin can actually be divided up to 8 decimal places. Okay, that is let's say for example, you get to the grocery store or to the marketplace, and then you decide to get some stuff that costs you less than a Bitcoin or some fractions of your local currency, be it dollar, be it naira, whatever, a rand, South African rand. So now you get to grocery stores, and then you get maybe, let's say, a toothpaste. That will cost you about some penny, or then kobo or naira or whatever. So but then you could just use a fraction of Bitcoin to purchase that commodity, that's an item, and then you don't have to worry about, okay, sorry, do you have balance, do you have change for this particular stuff that I'm buying at this value. You just have to like send the exact amount of the value of whatever you are buying in Bitcoin, and then just fractions of Bitcoin, sorry. So that being said, let's go over to where Bitcoin is stored. Bitcoin is stored in a virtual wallet. This virtual wallet keeps record of every single transactions made with that wallet by the user. Okay, and also gives you the ability to send and receive money with that same wallet. Okay, so now this is interesting because all the transactions that are verified, all transactions are verified by miners and then are stored by all members of the network in the blockchain network. Okay, so now okay, that is basically all. So then if you have any questions concerning what I've shared with you guys, or if you feel that maybe there is some part of my presentation that I didn't clearly explain a particular concept or